obviously for us it's a great game. You know, you win like that in overtime at home when you're down. You know, to our kids' credit, at halftime we could have just kind of laid down and let them run over us, and we came out. Our first goal was to win the first 5 minutes of the second half. We came out, got it inside. DJ made a three, and we got back. You know, kind of got right back into it where it was manageable. And then we hit that one spot where we've been several games where it got to 2, and then we always seem to have, you know, disruption in our huddles and pointing of fingers, and it wasn't too nice at them in one of the timeouts. Nice to them in one of the timeouts. I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but it seemed we got together and went on a run after that. Didn't have a good finish, obviously. You know, to their credit, they switched defenses the last couple possessions, and DJ got the ball, and he was trying to run the play, and then they had switched defenses, and so, you know, that's my fault. We even worked on a couple things yesterday and today at the end of the game, so. You know, but we did, again, we could have quit at the end of the, you know, man, they came back and, you know, we could have laid down again, but we came right back and found a way to, you know, win the game. I thought, you know, we told them we could go inside, and I guess that's an understatement when Tiz gets 31. So you know, it's just their defense. Once we struggled a little bit against the 1-3-1, but once we were able to get it to the baseline and people started looking to the flashers, you know, we were able to attack it much better. But, you know, you got to give them a lot of credit. I said before, I think Michael Thompson is one of the most improved players in the league, in the country. You know, his numbers aren't great, but I thought he just directed and ran the show and got them into their stuff. You know, and then Sherna is, you know, just is a tough kid that knows how to play, tough guard. You know, you put a 3 on him, they post him. You put a 4 on him, and they run them off screens. And you know, the shooting, I mean, we knew they would shoot threes, but not that many. I don't think anyone expected that. They had one other game, I thought, was somewhere 45-47. You know, the ironic thing, I think, is Sherna and Nash made them early, and they were their 2 worst ones going into it. So, you know, but we did win. It's huge. We're 1-0, new start now. We go up to Chicago, and we're 3-0 against top 25. We got another chance on Saturday against Gonzaga.
Bruce, has Tizzy, looks like he's going after the ball with more determination in the last couple of games.
Well, I think other than Georgia, I thought, you know, I told you guys I got after him a few weeks ago. Actually, Mr. Tisdale, his father, said something to Wayne, and I played off of it. And you know, since that time, I think he's been aggressive. He goes to the boards, offensive rebounds. You know, he gets a double-double. You know, that not only scoring, but got a double-double. We just, all the last 2 days, we just say, guys, throw it to the post. And it's hard for the freshmen because it's probably my fault. Not only do we not guard, I don't know if that's my fault because we've worked on it. But I allowed there too much freedom early in the season, and we made shots. I made shots at home. Now now I'm saying, hey, slow down, get it inside, and they're struggling with it. You know, once I told Dimitri his job is to win games. That's his job as a point guard. That's what Chester did last year. He didn't care what his numbers were. He just had to win games. So after the game, I said, Dimitri, you did great. We won. And, you know, he's got to feel good about it. 8-2, you know, made the big plays, made the free throws. You know, he doesn't have to always score. And every game is different. Sometimes the guards who score, sometimes the big guys. This time it was the big guys, and they came up huge for us.
Dimitri came over to the bench at 2:41 with the overtime, asking for some kind of clarification from Coach Price.
He's always asking for clarification when he screws up. So it's probably, you could probably have 100 times in there tonight that he did that. But I think a little bit about, you know, what we did on shooters in the second half. We said if they're going to dribble penetrate, we can't. Usually we help and they get back to shooters, and we said stay with the shooter. And then they do that quick down screen where they come off of it. And he asked about that, you know, how we were supposed to switch it. And he didn't always get where he was supposed to. So I think he was just trying to pacify us, to be honest. But I don't know for sure. I don't remember that much.
On the play with 7 seconds to go in the game, you had McCamey taking the ball out of bounds. Was there an idea to get him the ball back?
Yes, we thought they were going to be 1-3-1. DJ, we put the play in yesterday and worked it on a couple times. DJ was supposed to take a dribble, get it back to Dimitri, drive it in the gap, either kick it or make the play. And they went to their man or moan, whatever they call it, half man, half zone. And so DJ looked at him. Now, I should have called another timeout. We had one left, and I did, but it was after he already had started losing the ball. So, we got to, we've tried Dimitri with the ball. We've tried, Brandon, now DJ. Brandon, he's made some plays. We probably got to get it to him.
How big was the crowd tonight?
I thought it was huge.
How much did the players feed off of it?
Well, I told them, first of all, what we did the last 2 games, and to have a sellout is amazing. You don't have that, more loyal fans. I know there's some places that are pretty, you got some enthusiastic fans, but this was tremendous. And I told them before the game and last night, I said, and Chicago's going to be either sold out or close to sell out, and it's going to be more people than the Bulls got. So you got to have some pride and feel like, hey, I got to do something, give back. And maybe we gave back a little bit. I know we found a way to win, and now we got to see if we can continue to make progress.
Coach, talk about the play of Bill Cole there in this game.
But Bill, we had tough. Sherna's a tough matchup, and Billy's kind of the same as him, a 3-4. He screwed up a little bit a couple times, but I thought down the stretch he did a pretty good job on him. He got dead tired though, but I don't, we had no one else that could really guard him. Mike Davis tried early. Brandon, tried, and Billy, I guess did the best job on him. But and he gets his hands on ball. He just, he's done a lot of little things for us. You couldn't be more proud of him. Again, a guy that could have given up after the first couple of years, but he's hung with it, and when he has success, you feel good about it.
How desperate was your team for a win? How
well,
do you need this right now?
It was huge. There's no doubt. It's Big Ten opener. Northwestern, in-state rival. They're playing great, top 25. It was a big win. There's no doubt. But it's what we do from now. If we take advantage of it. Saturday's not going to be any easier. Tuesday, and then just keep going down the line. Got a bunch of tough games, and hopefully we can learn and get better in practice. That's the most important thing.
Anything else for coaches?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.